It was great. It was great. You know, great directors really give you the freedom.
None of this matters at all unless it becomes impossible to happen. And we're all going to be complicit in that. We're all going to have to be responsible for that. And
For how to talk to somebody, and basically how to tell somebody they're sucking, right? And like, we can just say you suck.
You went for 1 year? Did you go for 4 years or what?
I went for 5 years.
Was it hard?
The reality is you have to give them a sense of self-esteem because you're not going to be with them when they have to make a lot of these decisions.
I don't know how they do it, but they figured out how to splice things and change things. And
Joe Rogan consistently keeps things honest, and this time was no different. He dove deep into the glitzy world of Hollywood and gleaned truths that have everyone buzzing. You ultimately give us what we don't desire. And when we're talking about diversity, it's reflected in the movie's casting. The alleged involvement of well-known celebrities, including the well-known Matt Damon, in what he suggests may be more than simple business networking, was one of the most alarming things he uncovered. Rogan asserts that in their pursuit of fame, these performers may have taken some remarkably strange routes. It's worse in Hollywood, after all, don't you think? Because you are not allowed to make a personal decision. You weren't selected. Joe Rogan discussed several worrying and divisive topics in a recent podcast episode. He delved deeply into Harvey Weinstein's tragic past, as well as the disturbing exploitation culture that permeates the entertainment industry. The worst-case scenario is thus for these strong, privileged individuals who draw these ladies into their web and profess to be there to aid them. He is one more. The major collapse of Harvey Weinstein changed the course of events for the entertainment business. One of the spookiest topics Joe Rogan discussed was Weinstein's business practices. A well-known actress and comedian named Whitney Cummings clarified this unsettling trend. Young, aspiring performers would receive lofty promises from Weinstein, but these assurances came with a horrific catch. It is an amazing facet of Hollywood society that for the longest time, in order to get a job, you had to go to the casting couch, and everyone knew it. A lot of those guys had disproportionate connections, and everyone thought they were nasty. His wife is smoking, and he is filthy. Have you seen Harvey's wife smoking? The terrible give and take situation that was at the center of Weinstein's manipulation was described by Joe Rogan. He reportedly promised these wannabe actors the possibility to become well-known movie stars provided they complied with his demands. However, as soon as they decided, everything turned sinister. To keep them under his control, Weinstein showered them with love and favors. This kindness, nevertheless, came at a high price. The players felt trapped in a sickening cycle of manipulation and exploitation that Weinstein created by expecting them to spend even more private and intimate time with him. Rogan said that Weinstein urged these actors to contact him with kind and even passionate messages in order to keep up the appearance of a love relationship. Despite the fact that these messages appeared to be kind on the surface, the actors hated Weinstein for putting them in such risky positions. What's even more tragic, as Joe Rogan pointed out, is that some of these performers attempted to become friends with Weinstein in the hopes that it would further their careers. It's startling that, as Rogan pointed out, both male and female celebrities fell victim to Weinstein's devious tactics. He had to spend only about 5 minutes with him before realizing that he was scary and a bully. Harvey Weinstein is largely responsible for Matt Damon, one of the well-known actors, achieving success in Hollywood. Together, they produced the critically acclaimed film Good Will Hunting, which considerably contributed to Damon's rise to fame. In reality, Damon freely acknowledged that Weinstein's assistance was a major factor in his quick ascent to celebrity. His employees said things like, I'm coming here to make good movies. In the 1990s, Miramax was the company that produced the best content. Ben Affleck, Damon's close friend and coworker, had a significant role in Good Will Hunting and maintained tight relations to Weinstein throughout the film's production. Affleck's career soared after this cooperation, much like Damon's did. When Affleck and Matt Damon won the 1997 Oscar for Outstanding Screenwriting, they both gave Weinstein credit. Of us to thank Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie. These acknowledgments of Weinstein's contribution to the film offer light on his importance in influencing the careers of these well-known actors. However, Joe Rogan's research goes further, arguing that Weinstein's relationships with celebrities like Damon and Affleck may not have been entirely business-related. And Damon himself has stated that he would not want any of his close friends to marry Harvey Weinstein, which serves as further evidence. The only thing we knew, according to Damon, was that I wouldn't want him to get married to anyone close to me. And no one was surprised by that, As a result, when you hear Harvey this, Harvey that, you know he's a womanizer. Just look at the guy. The line between ambition and personal sacrifice might have been blurred in a more complex interaction. This viewpoint poses difficult issues about the decisions taken by those who profited from Weinstein's backing and challenges the way we perceive the dynamics of power in the business. It is evident in light of the Weinstein affair that interactions between producers and aspiring actresses were not the only instances of power dynamics in Hollywood. Male performers also encountered circumstances where pursuing their goals necessitated navigating the complexity of a field infamous for its exploitative tactics. That's not all, though. Furthermore, it revealed a disturbing culture of silence in Hollywood when Matt Damon and George Clooney confessed they were aware of Weinstein's actions. They revealed their opinions of Weinstein as a bully and womanizer in an interview with Good Morning America in October 2017, but they denied knowing the full scope of the serious charges. Damon even acknowledged knowing about Weinstein's treatment of Gwyneth Paltrow before the 1996 Emma filming had started. Ben told me the tale about Gwyneth since he had a relationship with her after Brad. But I was actually working with Gwyneth and Harvey on Ripley at the time. John Ripley, Thomas Ripley. Together, we attended Princeton. Gwyneth and I never discussed it. Ben told me, but I already understood that they had reached whatever understanding or agreement they had. She had managed it and was, as you may know, Miramax's first lady. This statement is quite significant since it sheds light on a problematic component of the industry's silence. In order to set the scene, Gwyneth Paltrow already spoke about her upsetting encounter with Weinstein. She explained how he had brought her to a hotel for what was intended to be a business meeting, but instead made unwanted advances and recommended they have massages in the bedroom. Paltrow, who was only 22 at the time, expressed her fear during the meeting to her then-boyfriend Brad Pitt. After that, Pitt challenged Weinstein. Some very important considerations regarding complicity and silence are raised by Matt Damon's admission that he was aware of Paltrow's trauma. He revealed that Ben Affleck, another actor closely acquainted with Weinstein, had told him about the circumstance, despite his claim that he had never brought it up with Paltrow. Damon revealed that Affleck had informed him that Paltrow and Weinstein had reached some sort of arrangement, and that Weinstein had treated her respectfully ever then. This information sheds light on Hollywood's intricate web of connections and power structures. Rogan speculates that Damon's quiet may have been caused by apprehension at losing the backing of a significant figure who helped him to fame. Even the possibility that Damon assisted in covering up Weinstein's inappropriate behavior has been raised. The founder of the rap, Sharon Waxman, said in 2017 that the New York Times had reneged on a similar report in 2004 due to pressure from prominent figures including Damon and Russell Crowe. Waxman asserted that the executive at the Miramax office in Italy, who was reportedly paid to support Weinstein's wrongdoing, was the subject of the narrative. She claimed that the story was destroyed as a result of severe pressure from Weinstein, which included having Matt Damon and Russell Crowe call me directly and secret discussions held at the times much above my head. She said, I was told at the time that Weinstein had personally visited the newsroom to express his disapproval. I was aware of his prominence as a Times advertiser and his general influence. Damon was unaware of Waxman's narrative. He only claimed that Weinstein had warned him that Lombardo Harvey was being targeted by the media. Harvey said that Sharon Waxman is penning a pretty bad article on Fabrizio. Could you please call her and let her know how Fabrizio treated you? I told her that after having done so, I seem to remember that her article only mentioned that Russell and I had called and shared our encounter with Fabrizio. If Matt Damon is tied to Weinstein, fans have been pretty vocal about it. One fan claimed it wasn't Matt's job. Take care of other people's problems. Regardless of the parameters of a contract that a powerful person offers you, you have two options: find a different route to your destination or accept the offer. Truth be told, no one was obligated to accept the bargains presented. They had the option to reject them and pursue other options. Women who accepted his advances were considerably more to blame than Matt for enabling his behavior to continue. Someone else wrote, I believe as a technician, it disgusts me that this garbage was tolerated in Hollywood, and appears like a lot of people in Washington, D.C. are just as terrible. I wonder how long it will be before we learn which politicians and actors visited Epstein Island.